Good morning, Namaskaram, Swamiji, Wing Commander, ANOs, and my cadets, dear cadets. Why we are gathered here and what is the purpose? A few days back, I came to Ramakrishna Mat, met Swamiji, and Swamiji gave me 3 books. So when a person of such high stature and intelligence gives you something, it's not a gift. First of all, anybody elder to you gives you something, it's a prasadam. What do you call prasadam in Tamil? Prasadam. So it's a prasadam. Your friends, your loved ones give you a gift. So every gift has a purpose. Somebody giving you a rose, flowers, that means they want him or her to remember for 2-3 days. Somebody gives you a plant, so they want you to nurture it, water it, nourish it, and let it grow. Your parents gave you life, your mother, your father. They want you to cherish it. They want you to live that life completely and make something good out of that life. Similarly, somebody gives you a book. So it's not a gift. Like Swamiji, when he gave me the books, it's a nudge. It's that inner thing that I'm giving you this, read it and reflect upon it. And like a good student, I did. And I even asked him, what will I get if I do this homework? I asked you. So anyways, so I read it during my time, during my office hours or whenever I had a break and all that. And that is the time when I reflected upon Swami Vivekananda's teaching. That what is the purpose? There are 3 books one was on Hinduism, one was on science, modern science and human excellence. And the third one was Bold Message to the World for Peace. These 3 books were there. Now I'll take you to another story. Viktor Frankl, he was a Jew during the time of Second World War. He was caught by the Germans and tortured. He was a psychiatrist. You all know what happened during Second World War. The Germans had started killing the Jews. If nobody knows, read the history. So he was one of the Jew. He was a psychiatrist. He had a lifelong work of his entire whatever he was working upon. He was captured. Before he was captured, he had 2 options. He had a golden ticket in a ship to go to USA. It was a ticket only for 2 people, him and his wife. And he could escape the Germans, going by the ship to America, the land of promise during that time. But then he thought about his parents. If he goes, his parents are not going to be there. If he does not go, he is not going to be there. But then he did not want to leave his parents behind. So he continued staying there. And obviously, one day, a knock came on his door. He was captured and he was taken to one of the concentration camps which was there. His entire life worth of research and papers and everything was burned in front of him. His clothes were taken, his everything. He did not have anything. And he was put in a concentration camp and he was tortured and he was made to work. Now he lost everything. He does not know where his parents are, where his wife is. He does not know, most probably they are dead and he is taken here. He does not know about his life. And he's being tortured and he's being made to work. That is the time when he observed one thing, that who are the people who are dying and who are the people who are not dying. You would have seen some pictures during our Indian famine also and all that. There are pictures of persons with ribs actually going inside their human body. You can actually count the number of ribs and all. And they are still standing, they are smiling also in some pictures and then they're there. And then there are people like you would have seen, all of you are grown-ups, you would have seen during COVID time, the people who were very healthy, very good, and suddenly you heard that they died. Why? Because he found out that time, the reason is the person who loses the why of his life. Why means W-H-Y. The purpose of his life. If a person thinks that, okay, I have lost everything, there is nothing to look forward to. When a person does not look forward to anything, if you do not look forward to getting up tomorrow early morning or whatever time, you have lost the purpose in your life. And if you lose the purpose in your life, you are just like an animal. Animal is the one who is suddenly grown up, he looks for food, and his purpose is to find food, or female or a male to generate, or the next generation reproduce, that next generation and all that. That is only his purpose. And when an animal loses the purpose, loses the appetite for hunting or appetite for finding food, he dies. So what Swami Vivekananda ji said also, and this man, Viktor, when he came out, finally he found the purpose. Okay, I was on Viktor's story. He found out the people who have, in the prison camps and the jails and all, cigarette is a currency. So it's said that you don't smoke your cigarette, because the cigarette is the currency. It's like money in jail. You have a cigarette, you give it to somebody, you get extra food. You have a cigarette, you give it to somebody, he will excuse your night duty or some other duty and all that. So cigarette is to gain the favors from the prison guards. When a person starts smoking his own cigarette in a jail, that means he does not want to have the extra food, he does not want to do the duty, he just lost hope. So the people who started smoking their own cigarettes, they died early. The people, like he survived because he kept on thinking about his wife. What I'll do with my wife when I'm going to get out from this place. He kept on thinking. And when he actually was released, his wife was no more. In the inner conscious, he knew that my wife may not be alive. But he kept on dreaming about that. What I'm going to do after I go out from the... He was not very sure. So that was the purpose which sailed him through that mud, the freezing cold, working environment and all that. And that is what he learned. And when he came out, he actually found out his parents are not there, his wife is not there. He just sat down. He did not cry. He just sat down. And in next 4 days, he wrote a wonderful book, which was a bestseller. And the main purpose of the book was, what if you lose your why? How not to lose your why and get your how. That was something, the name of the title of the book. Now, this tradition or this message has always been there in our traditions, our civilization, I would say. Hinduism is a word which has been given to us by foreigners. But before that, we were just like Cholas, Pandyas, Chandraguptas, Guptas, Mauryas, Suryavanshis, Chandravanshis, Rajputs. We were like this. But we had a civilization which was adopted by the people who came from outside also. And when Swami Vivekananda ji went to USA, he said, there was another message, that I am not here, or Hinduism does not want a Christian to convert to Hinduism. And obviously, I do not want a Hinduism to convert to Christianity. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to acknowledge each other and live in the divine peacefulness and the bliss, to acknowledge each other's presence. This was purpose of one book, the bold message of the peace to the world. And then he talks about this youth and all that. We all talk about, when we talk about religion, when we talk about gods or something, many people talk about moksha. Okay, you do spiritualism, you do religionism, you will get moksha. Why? Swami Vivekananda ji does not want you to what to do in death, but what to do in life. When he says that I want to awaken the youth of this country, it is not like right now all your eyes are open because I am standing. It is to be awake in the presence, mentally, not physically. When you are here for this, you should be here, be in the present, and be awake. There is everything or anything to learn. I might not have understood the Tamil, but if I was sitting here, I can at least absorb the surroundings, the vibe which is being given in this presence when we interact with you outside. So there's so many things to learn even in a small gesture of anybody who's outside or inside. So when you are here, you are listening to the other speakers. Even if during those 20 minutes, even if one sentence is going to get into your head, that serves the purpose of your life or your coming here for today. That is the thing which is there in your NCC life also. You wear a uniform, you go for the drill, you do the other classes and all. My job or my instructors and the ANO's job is not to make you march proudly for next 60 years. Obviously, no, you will not be marching after you are out of NCC. The physical parade and all that which you are going to do in NCC, or the uniform which you are going to wear, the uniform which you wear during the schools and till 12th class, you are made to wear the same uniform. And in NCC, you are made to wear a certain uniform. That is not to teach you how to wear that uniform or march like this. That is to build your character and discipline, which will help you to wear any kind of uniform that smartly the way you were wearing that uniform. When you have a good physique and going to get up, 10 days of camp, we make you get up at 5 o'clock or 5:30. And then you go back and then sleep till 10 o'clock. We just teach you a way of life. If you go to ashram or you go to NCC camp or any other place, I have seen people going for the camps, they feel very good. Oh, there we used to get up at 5 o'clock. We were very happy. And then we used to do the sadhana and the other thing and all. And when they go back home, they do the same thing which they were doing before that. Then they again start getting up at 9 o'clock. And then when I go to the ashram, after 6 months, I will do the same thing for those 10 days. What is the point of that ashram or NCC camp? You have lost the basic meaning of that ashram, what they want to teach you. They want you to feel the experience of how does it feel like to get up at 5 o'clock or 5:30 to see the sunrise, have breakfast in time, have all your other meals in time, and follow a set routine, which if you adopt in your normal life, you will become a much better man, much better student, much better professional, and much better human being in every way. So then 10 days of anything, ashram or NCC camp, is not to just make you do this for 10 days. To teach you what to do in life and how does it feel, whether it is good for you or not. And if you think that it is good for you, why don't you adopt it in your life? This is the meaning of any camp or anything which happens. So, similarly, the discipline, the uniform which you wear, the ANO and PA staff had taught you how to wear that, how to tie that drill lace, that drill boot lace, and how to wear a belt, how to tuck your t-shirt inside, how to be aware ki how many buttons are open and how many buttons are not. Now the same thing when you go into the corporate world, if you are actually going to wear like that, if you're conscious about polishing your shoes, you're conscious about how your laces are there in the shoe. These are very small things. The first impression is known by the person, like the way he's wearing his shoes, and the way the light travels faster than the sound. So before you enter a room, you are seen first, and then you are heard. So the person will see you first, and that will be the first impression. And if you are slouching like this, and if you are, if you are sitting like this in any interview, and otherwise if you are standing smartly, so which you have learned in the drill. Now you will not stand like this in an interview, but if the drill has made your spine straight and how to stand properly, so your natural bearing will be like that. Similarly, you will be wear a normal civil dress, normal shirt and trouser in a manner which will look smart on you. And the physical appearance, if you have followed that routine, you will look smart. So that is the purpose of NCC. And all these things which we are teaching you, you will not remember a word. But if you have started following even a one line out of all this, you are going to grasp today. That is the purpose of this workshop or character building and youth empowerment, which we are holding today. Coming back to Swami Vivekananda ji, what he said, awakening. This is the awakening he wanted in the youth of India. That awakening is by the same discipline, same character building in everybody, and then they can further, those 100 can teach others, or they can make the others also follow the suit and the other things. And this is what the same purpose is there in the NCC. We are not here to give you certificates. I have always said, you want a certificate, take it. I am not interested. Who's taking the certificate, who's not? A, B, C, or whatever. But I am interested in that 2 years or 3 years, you are going to be there with us in NCC. Does that change you as a person or not? Those 10 days of camp and every day's normal evening drill, if you are doing it, is that going to change you as a person, which you will remember throughout your life? If we are not able to do that, so then there is no purpose of you wearing that NCC uniform for 2 years. If you are not going to take it away or take it with you during your future years. The same thing, whatever national values which you are earning, the social empathy which you are learning out of this social service activities. Everybody is patriot. I always say, anybody, your father, if he's paying taxes, he is a patriot. What next is, how are you empathetic towards anybody who's a child, anybody who's an old person? Doing this duty, you will do some shramdan, and after this, and cleanliness drive somewhere, then tree plantation you keep on doing in your colleges and school. And next day you don't look at that plant, whether it has died or it has taken a water or not. Just one picture and all, not. It should get into your character. When you go for a cleanliness activity, that is only one activity which has been taught to you. But it should get into your calendar. I keep on saying, if you have thrown your plate here in the ashram, and which you do in your camps, that you have had your fruity and threw it there only, it is not the character which we are wanting to build. You are doing the same thing. Then you are doing a photo ops of cleanliness drive and other thing. What is that nonsense what you are doing? Because after that, when you actually have a momo plate in a marketplace, and what I have generally seen here also, the same thing, you open a wrapper of an ice cream, and then you are only interested about the ice cream, and that wrapper goes away somewhere, and not into your. If you do not find a dustbin, I keep it in my pocket till the time I don't have a dustbin. So if you do not find a dustbin to throw it, and which would be definitely there just 2 meters away, so then you are not a good citizen of India or human being of this world, I would say. It's not about India, it is about the entire world. You will do the same thing when you go to some other country, or you will do the same when you are going into a 5-star hotel. But you will not do that when you are on a road, because the road is not your baby. You will not do that in your home, but moment you are out of your home, you will do it. So that means you don't just consider your home your property and arrest everything. India is not your property, India is not your home. So if you don't do that, it is not the character which we want in the youth of India. You don't have to tell anybody, you don't have to fight anybody. You just have to be, like he's the We the 100. You just have to be correct in yourself. Other person follow or not follow, that is there. But if you are correct, if you are smiling and all that, and even if you pick up the other person's wrapper also, which he, without telling him, he will be ashamed, and next time he will always remember that somebody else picked up my wrapper because I was fool enough to throw that wrapper there. So you have taught two person and all the people who have seen that thing, and if they have not learned, they are fools. But just following yourself, and if you can make these 100 here sitting here, if you can make this change here, then we can keep on changing the world. This is the message which I have for you. This is the message all these eminent personalities have given us throughout their life. The gods of any religion are not there to just pray and go back and do whatever you want to do. Come, listen to your sins, and after that, you go to Ganga or Kaveri, wash your sins, and again start doing the sins. The gods have been given to you to give you a standard. Most of you are agri college, veterinary college and all that, science students, science background and all that. What is the 100% idol for a scientist? What is a machine? Any machine or any engine which can convert 100% of this coal energy, which it is produced by burning it, into 100% kinetic power. That is correct. That is the standard, or that is a fantasy of a scientist. But it is not so. The coal, when it is burned, it loses to light, sound and so many other things. And after all, the engine, the best engine in the world, will give a energy produced by a coal or a petrol or a diesel would be 40 to 50%. That's all. And rest is wasted. And that is why it is said, now that is the idol. Now the idols are there in front of you in your temples, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Jesus, Muhammad, and so many other. Everybody has got their own idols. And what do we say? If you start doing these things, you will become God. You cannot become a God. Okay, because that is 100% idol. But that has been given to you in a form of a story, or his life works or other thing. And they have shown you, okay, these are all the works. And why he is a God? Because he is 100% true human being. Because he did not wanting to go to moksha. Again, coming back to purpose of life. They had a purpose and they worked toward that purpose in life. So every day when you get up, if you do not have a purpose, like in Punjabi we say, khaunga, piyunga, so jaunga. Okay, I'll eat, drink, watch some television and then sleep. Next day, same thing. Why? Because my exams are over. I don't have anything to do most of the time in student life. If you are going to a class and just wanting to learn, okay, what is going to come in the paper, then you are not learning anything. You do not have a purpose. Your purpose is only to clear in that exam. Now you are worried that your B certificate and C certificate exams are coming. Okay, how many questions are going to come? How am I going to pass? If you are thinking about that, then you are not a good NCC student. If you are thinking about I am going to get a degree, then you are not a good college student. What you are going to learn from that lecture or that book which is there in your hand, book is not to make you, clear that third year exam. That third year exam degree or fourth year, degree certificate is not going to help you be very clear in this, at least today's world. It was there in 80s and 90s when you wanted to just get a job of doctor, engineer, high level clerk, low level clerk, that's all. These were the 4 jobs which were available during my time. If you are very good, you will become a doctor or an engineer. If you are low level, you will become a high grade clerk or a low grade clerk, railway job, police job, or those kind of jobs and all. But this is not the world you are there. Your generation is not the world. Your generation, your interviews, the people who are going to take your interview are not going to see your certificate. Okay, you will show them the certificate. Okay, you are engineer. Okay, now come sit in front. Tell me, what do you want? What do you know about this, that, and all? If you show them the certificate, 90%, 80%, nothing. None of the CEOs who are sitting or commanding Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, and other things, they are not toppers of their class. They used the knowledge what was there in the books after doing that degree, and they applied that knowledge. How to apply that knowledge, not to how to get 90% or 95% in the 99% in the class. They applied their knowledge, and then they were the ones who ruled the world. And that knowledge will be there in the book, in everyday interaction, in everything actually. Today you are there, you are going to Shardavan, you are going to learn some organic farming. Don't you think, okay, I am a veterinary student, what will I learn from the planting? I am a computer science student, what will I learn from this motivational lecture? If I am a doctor, I am doing a degree, what I'll learn if by wearing a good uniform or walking steadily, I have to become a doctor only? No, everything makes you a better person and will help you in every profession, whichever you have. Unless you have that, you go with that purpose. When you get up in the morning and you think, okay, what am I going to do today? In the morning, if you don't think that purpose, then you are just going to watch actually television or your Facebook reels, Instagram reels, and go back to sleep, eat junk. But if you have that purpose, okay, 2 years from now, I will have, 6-pack abs, and I will do well in my studies, and I have to be a better person or get a good job and stock market analyst, this, that, and all that, whatever. You have the purpose. That is the purpose of standing in a temple. When you come and stand in front of your God, whichever God, whether your parents are the God, your any religion God, or this temple, or any, just open field. And when you close your eyes and tell your God, God, I want to become a doctor. Let me tell you frankly, there is no God who is listening. That is my feeling. You may not agree, but this is my feeling. Your God is in your head, in your unconscious mind. You are actually, when you are closing your eyes and standing at a place like this in silence, and there is nobody around you, no distraction, you are not thinking about your girlfriend, you are not thinking about your parents, you are not thinking about your money, or what have you lost or whatever. You are just with yourself. You are just with yourself means you are just with your God, your own God, whichever that God is. You can give it a form of a human being, you can give it a form of a female, male, elephant, cow, anybody. But you are actually talking to yourself and here. And then that God in your head will not let you sleep. That God in your head will not let you do anything which is not going to help you become a doctor. That God will only help you to eat good, eat that kind of food which is going to keep you awake to study. That God will make you get up at 4 o'clock to study. That God will not let you watch those stupid Instagram or YouTube reels. Why? That you have put in your conscious head. So unless you have that purpose in your life, unless you give your God a purpose, okay, this is the purpose in my life, you are a dead being. And you better attain that moksha or whatever you want to. You want to live this life, have a purpose in your life. you want to become a good student, you want to become a good child, have the purpose in your life which will keep you, you want to become a good cricketer, keep you awake, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, getting up, going for a run and doing that. So everything has a purpose. All these people which Swamiji also mentioned during his lecture, Wing Commander also mentioned, they had a purpose in life, all the personalities. Mr. Ajit Doval, they had a purpose. He stayed in Pakistan for so many years, hungry, starving, without clothes, and so many other things. And we do not know what all he did. Because, and why did they survive all this? Because they never lost a hope. They never lost the purpose in life. And every day, every night, they were awake, conscious about the facts. What their purpose when they are in Pakistan, when they are in a post, or any soldier who's there on a post, or you can, we have been to situation, all the people, all the army men who are sitting here. We go to a patrol, we go to a duties and all that. You are with yourself. You are at a place when you just get lost. You stop thinking about anybody. You are just, and sometimes you lose hope. Sometimes you are in a blizzard. Sometimes you are in a place like that. Ki, okay, now I am going to die. But if you lose that hope, then that person actually dies there. He does not come back from Jammu Kashmir. The people who have come back from there, they are the people who knew, okay, they have a purpose, much bigger purpose than this stupid patrol. That's why. So keep a person, make a purpose in your life, live with that, and do well to the humanity. Thank you so much.